All right, all right. Do we have it all and ready here? Let's just make sure. There we go. All right. Welcome to part 3, or chapter 3 in this case, for Eliza. Now, any bets that I'm gonna go straight to solitaire at the beginning of this, or just going straight to the story? I'm not entirely sure. Let's just hope there's no forced fetish play in this installment. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Yep, let's go ahead and continue. All right. Raina's assistant meets me at the reception area with an impassive look. Well, it's not grand. She leads me through the building towards the center. Okay, so she's being led to meet up with this individual, this past colleague, this now CEO, if I'm not mistaken, of the company that helped to develop Eliza. Why is it that I don't remember the name of the company again? Then again, I always mispronounce it. Everything is glass and steel, clean and bright, and you already are putting me with all of these fancy modern design. Employees steal curious glances at me. Am I a curiosity to them? It's hard to believe this used to be my whole world. Eventually, we come to a conference room where Raina is finishing the meeting. So that's the individual I'm meeting up with. Raina. All right, let's see how this goes.
Evelyn?
All right, let's just make sure. I want to make sure that we got the volume good and tight. It's not too loud. It's not too... There we go. Feel free to let me know if the audio for the game, especially when it comes to the voice acting, is too loud or too quiet. And even on my end, if it happens to be too loud or too quiet, feel free to notify me within the chat at any time. And I can always make accommodations from there. All right. Can I play solitaire now?
Nice building.
Fancy, I know. Oh, the webcam is spying on us.
Oh, thank you. I designed it myself.
Oh, here comes the bragging rights.
It's funny, I almost didn't notice that you were already back working for Skanda.
Skanda, that's how you pronounce that. And that's the name of the organization I work for.
You might have stayed undetected, but I was looking at some of our statistical outliers earlier this morning.
Oh, well, aren't you being a snoopy little puss?
Statistical outlier. That's me.
Well, that's the right amount of enthusiasm I would surface if I was being called that.
Ideally, Eliza proxies would all perform the same, or at least quite similar to each other. In practice, there are some pretty big differences.
Oh, so you're saying that I'm outstanding in my proxy field. Oh, you're too kind.
Some people respond better to advice provided to them by people they perceive as having more authority.
Oh, so you think I have the power? Perhaps.
A deeper voice, a taller stature, a certain grace or beauty.
Well, I do have a deep voice. That is most certainly true. And in my virtual form as this blob, I am 6'9". Unless I decide to consume a lot of things, then it gets way bigger. Kind of like kaiju levels, but I'd rather it did not go to that point because that would spell a lot of doom for a lot of individuals. I'm not certain about the grace of beauty, though. For a lot of individuals, I might seem off-putting to a lot of other VTubers, but I'm unique at least. And you can't take away uniqueness, nor my nudity.
Other proxies may be particularly empathetic.
Is that a good thing? I mean, you're trying to comprehend the person that you're trying to assist in any way you can, even if you're not necessarily in the same background.
A face or a voice that makes you want to open up.
So, chat, my chubby checkers, my fan name, I don't think I call you that very often. Do I have the type of voice that makes you want to open up? To disclose your deep, dark secrets? To lash out at the world? Rant about all of your current woes? I hope not. I don't think I would want to have that type of power.
There was one proxy whose sessions seemed particularly effective, so I decided to take a closer look.
Let me guess, it was me.
Evelyn Ishino Aubrey, Contract Proxy Queen Anne office. That's a fun trick to come back to your old company in secret.
Are you attempting to blackmail me or gaslight me? I almost feel like with your tone of voice, it almost is coming to that. I'm getting that assumption.
It's a rather dramatic drop in pay, isn't it? More than an order of magnitude.
Hey, it may be a drop in pay, but if I'm liking the job, I suppose it's better, but it doesn't seem like I'm enjoying the job too much.
I don't care about that.
But then why would you do it?
It's for research.
Oh.
Research? So you're still interested in what you created? Let me get to the point.
Oh. Being blunt, I see. All right.
Why aren't you back here, working on the Eliza program?
Why isn't any of the old team back?
So apparently not a lot of the old members are back then. So it wasn't just me.
Good question. Let's see. Damien Seabrook. There's no helping that. Shame, though, for such a brilliant career to be cut so short. Soren Lloyd Rose, the former program manager.
Oh, yep.
Resigned just last week to found his own startup. Very cute.
Oh, he calls it cute. For those of you who are not aware, Soren is the old gentleman that during the press conference, he decided to resign from the company in order to start up his own company focused on AI dream processing, or something to that degree.
I'm not a psychoanalyst like he is, but I can tell his need to be a maverick, even as he benefits from the system, has been the primary destructive force in his life.
You like to basically critique people's paths and how they seem to go into fruition, how you consider it a destructive force. It might not be considered destructive on his end, though, but then again, this is a new venture he's being a part of, so there could be consequences. Who knows, you could be right, but you can also be wrong.
He can be smart when he wants to, but just as often he gets the wrong ideas and refuses to let them go. His ego gets in the way.
Oh, I suppose your ego doesn't get in your way then?
That's why I don't mind him leaving to pursue his little dream of being an entrepreneur, changing the world.
I'm not sure if I really like you right now. Your tone of voice, it's just putting me off to... It seems very condescending, very pompous.
He won't succeed, but I'm happy to let him think he has independence for now.
I don't buy that delivery. I don't buy it. I don't buy the sincerity in that voice, if there is any sincerity.
If his direct nerve stimulation technology ends up taking off, I can always pull the cord and yank him back.
Well, okay, then I was right.
Nora Plavnicki, senior engineer. She handled a lot of the front-end interface for Eliza, which is important, but less what I'm after.
Yours, the friend that I used to hang out with and who I went to the concert with, who produced some good old noise electronic music.
Plus, I doubt she's ideologically compatible with us anymore.
She seems much more happy for it. Good for her.
I've spoken with her. You know how she is now.
Indeed.
Seems to me she wants to rebel against everything and anything without stopping to consider whether it's truly good or bad.
There's never really truly good or bad. There's always the morally gray.
Not that it matters. I hope she's having fun playing with her electronic music toys.
It still sounds so bloody condescending. I don't know if he just basically reeks of talking down to Evelyn at this point, and just all the other former team leaders. I don't like it. I don't like his attitude. I am definitely not going to coincide with Reina. But a part of me doesn't want to coincide with Soren either, because as I hear a little girl screaming in the background, of course, that was not from the game itself, it's from my current human living quarters. Of course I would hear a girl screaming in the background. It's basically sharing the same sentiment of how I feel about this man. It's perfect. Good timing, good timing.
I know she would consider her work to be art, but well, who am I to judge?
Oh, he is definitely not empathetic. I mean, yeah, being empathetic can be draining, but still. Ugh.
And then there's you, Evelyn. You simply dropped away. Gone for 3 years. Why?
People keep asking me that.
Yeah, and I would seem that she was fed up with answering each and every time. I wanted to, that's all. It's personal. I needed some time to myself.
I needed some time to myself.
Burnout isn't uncommon in our line of work. Still, 3 years is...
Oh, burnout is just the Eliza magic. I wonder if anyone gets that reference. If you do, let's just hope things get better soon. For a lot of the same companies.
It could be longer. It could be forever.
I love that delivery. I love it. Good work, Evelyn.
Well, that's a shame, though, isn't it? All that lost productivity.
Yeah.
Who knows where we'd be if you'd stayed this whole time?
Oh, yes. Benefiting your own greedy pockets, I presume.
You left before we began deploying, but you should know the analysts were very skeptical of us. They were saying there was nothing special about Eliza, that our competitors already had equivalent or better offerings. It's a good thing I don't listen to analysts.
Well, maybe you should listen to them soon if I decide not to help you.
So far, the program's growth has exceeded every one of our targets, and we've outpaced the competition by a comfortably wide margin.
Oh, so it's that mindset, huh? Not the real creative force, but more of the business side of things. That's gonna win a lot of favors for you by the general public, isn't it?
We're a category definer. There's a quality to Eliza that makes it superior to all the other attempts to do something similar. You were part of the original team. Why don't you tell me what that quality is?
Well, I'm not really sure what you're asking.
I'm not really sure what you're asking.
Yeah, be completely honest.
Well, let me return to my earlier question then. Why aren't you here to continue your work? You could be running the entire Eliza division if you wanted, but instead you came back undercover like a criminal returning to the scene of a crime.
Oh no, I did something horrendously bad, and here I am working, knocking in the front lines of something technological. Who knows? It's something that... Wait, I forget. Damien. One of the former employees was Damien. And there was... I forgot. I believe Evelyn was close to Damien, and of course his life was tragically struck short. That could be one of the reasons why she decided to withdraw herself. They formed a strong bond, and now... Well, maybe Damien found something within this technology, within the code, that was troublesome, and now she's back to really analyze it more thoroughly. That's a possibility. Though, we're only in chapter 3 out of 7 chapters, so there's much more to dissect as we go along.
Is there something wrong with this company? You don't like us anymore?
Well, if I didn't like this company anymore, why would I bloody go back to it?
It's not me, is it?
Maybe that's part of it.
Maybe that's part of it.
Yes!
You know what outstanding engineers have that mediocre ones don't?
What's that? Obedience?
It's curiosity.
Yeah, and that's another one. But don't try to dry out that curiosity and make us burn out from it.
Mediocre engineers tend to zero in on a single piece of the puzzle. They pursue technical breakthroughs, but ignore the larger picture. But you wanted to know how Eliza turned out, how it was working, didn't you? Even though you might have thought you wanted to put all of this behind you, you were still curious. You want to know everything, not just how it works or if it works, but its effect on people, on society.
Yeah, and I'm not quite approving of how it's affecting society, might I add. Then again, that's my perspective, and Evelyn's could be something different.
You have that instinct, the need to understand something complex from as many angles as possible. So please, do that. Learn what you came back here to learn. And once you have what you came for, consider returning to your old employer. You can make a real difference this time.
With the way that you have been kind of treating me and trying to dissect my motivations, basically intricate and analyze the reasons why I'm coming back, the reasons why I have this fascination with Eliza and whatnot. It probably makes you nice and tall, doesn't it, Rainer? Or Rainer, or however you...
I really doubt I'll do that, Rainer.
Rainer. That's what I thought.
Well, don't worry about making a decision now.
Oh, yes, yes. You may be indecisive now. You may not want to come, but sooner or later, you will come back. I know of it. I'll make sure that you come back. Oh, yes. Let my magnificent face lure you back in. Let my charms, my way with words, reel you back into the limelight to make sure that I make you live your fullest potential.
One more thing.
Oh, yes. Enlighten me.
You should go down and see Eliza for yourself. Sarah will show you the way.
Rainer hands me a blue badge with my name and picture on it. Oh, so you kept it from all this time. How quaint. This is my old employee badge. He held on
This
to
will
it.
get you through the doors.
It's like a lucky charm.
I've instructed the staff to treat you like an employee. Come and go as you like.
Lovely.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much your creation has grown.
Well, okay. Rainer leaves me in the conference room by myself. This company. Skanda. Uh-oh. Okay, so Nora's texting me back. Gah! You okay? What do you got here? Oh. Ugh. Hey, I'm really... Oh. Come on now. Ah. It's flickering. There was a little bit of flickering on my end here. I'm really, really happy you came to that show. I'm glad I went. There you go. I know it's not like your usual scene, so I am extra happy about it. It was weird that Soren wanted to go too, because he was expecting that BDSM spotlight to really loom in. Maybe he was thinking he could impress you somehow. Oh, God. I remember how creepy you acted against Nora back in the day from what she told me. It was so funny seeing him there. Seemed to be enjoying himself, though. I don't know why he wants me to join his startup so badly. Or do you think he's just being a creep? Maybe. I'm sure that's it. Why else would he do stuff like come to your show? Yeah. I don't think he would be interested. Sure. See why I'm glad I left that behind? Yes. I don't even want to think about that kind of thing anymore. I really love to make machines do things, but not in that style of environment. I'm sure he's asking you too, no? He's talking to everybody. Yep, he already did over dinner. Rainer also found me. That was fast. Did he want you? Yep. He want me to go back to Skanda. Skanda. I figured. Yep. This is maybe a question, bud. Why don't you go into business for yourself as a contractor? You could even start your own company. I'm not really a Not really a business person. You could just be someone who does some consulting. I do that sometimes since it's pretty good. I like the flexibility. Coming into some place, solve a specific problem, leave. Anyway, it's just a thought. It's probably the better alternative besides the other two that I've been presented this far. I'll think about it. You'll come over soon, right? You know what? Yeah, I will. Excellent. Excellent. I'm looking forward to it. Well, I'm glad. It's probably one of the only bright spots of this entire oh, what do we got here? What's this now? What does a fulfilled life look like? Well, at least you got some bonsai trees here. And you're not over... I like how you didn't actually utilize, buildings that were emitting pollution into the air. That's also a nice change of scenery. This makes me feel tranquil. This makes me feel absolutely at ease. Excellent. Good. I'm glad. All right, what do we got for the proxy here? Oh, Ray got some more cookies. Cookies in the kitchen, yay! Some of you already found them, I see. There's banana bread too. What should I make next? I do love me some cookies. I'm not gonna play solitaire now. I should probably check up on Eliza. Giving presentations, leading minis. I used to do those things. I wasn't bad at it, in fact, but did you like doing it? Ask the question. Could I become that person again? Only if you feel comfortable with it, if you get some enjoyment out of it. Why would you if you didn't like it? Pencils and paper. I read that some tech executives avoid losing tablets and smartphones these days, even the ones their own companies make. I guess it's better to try and write it down on a piece of paper rather than just jot it down in your computer, I suppose, or smartphone. This is fresh. Must be someone's full-time job to take care of the water in every conference room. Tech companies are really in their own universe. Hallelujah. Is there anything else that I need to look around here? Nope. That's it. Let's continue. Finally, Rainer's assistant returns and escorts me from the conference room. Let's see what the hell Eliza is. We enter an elevator, and it begins going down extremely fast. It feels like we're falling to the depths of the earth. I'm not sure if I should be panicking or not. Nobody around us looks worried, though, so this must be normal. The elevator opens up onto a nondescript hallway with doors to either side. Looks like the secret research facility in a movie. At the very end of the corridor, we come to a special-looking entryway. Sarah holds her door open for me, but doesn't follow me through. Is this it? Oh, that's a server farm. To do all your Bitcoin, of course. Get those NFTs ready, my golly. Woohoo! Use up all of those graphic cards. I'm sure that's not even the heart of it. But still. Screw that. Screw that! But look at all of these servers. Look at all that. Oh, look, a laptop. Oh, you can actually see I like that little detail over here. Oh, and over here too. A server farm? Not particularly unusual. Why did Rainer send me here? He made it sound like I would learn something.
Eliza.
So this whole thing is Eliza, huh? This entire server farm.
Not the name I would have given you, if it were up to me.
It was a marketing decision.
Oh, this is a new character. Erland.
They thought there might be some recognition or resonance with the old version.
Oh, you startled me a bit.
Oh, I should have introduced myself. Sorry about that.
Oh, you look youthful, like an intern.
I'm Erland, currently the chief engineer here, but that's probably going to be temporary.
Oh, jeez, he's already worrying about his job. Chief engineer? He looks like a baby. He must be intelligent then if he's the chief engineer. He must be fresh out of university.
I know who you are, of course.
Oh, is it a fan?
It's an honor to finally meet you, miss.
Oh, it could be a fan!
As someone who works with this program every day, I've often felt close to the minds who originally designed it. So to be able to talk to you now, just as another person, it's an honor.
Hey, Sean Legacy, greetings and salutations to you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream.
Sorry, I already said that.
It's okay there, Erlen. It's quite alright. Nothing wrong about showing a little bit of enthusiasm, just as long as you don't see me as some entity or god. Or deity, I should say. Entity is just like any other human being.
I'm maybe a little overwhelmed.
I wouldn't blame you in that case. It's nice you feel that way.
It's nice you feel that way.
Show some acknowledgement at least. Be humble about it.
Honestly, I don't know if Eliza reflects me at all anymore.
You're welcome. Excellent. I am doing okay in the meantime. Thank you so much for asking. I take it it's the evening for you as well. I do get a few people in here nowadays where it could be the night, the morning, or even in the afternoon.
I mean, look at all this. There's been a ton of development since I left.
8 p.m., huh? I see. So you must be Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Savings Time in this case, since that just came to pass.
I doubt I would even recognize it as something I once worked on.
So it has been upgraded from when she utilized it and started looking over.
I'm not so sure about that. Most of the work we've done has been in the form of layers on top of the original system. The core modules are more or less the same as they've always been.
Okay.
Raina reminded me that you're still subject to our non-disclosure agreements, so let me share a little secret.
Oh. Yes, I see. Yep, it would have been that around time, most certainly. I can definitely understand that it would have been around 6, at least for me here. Central time for me.
None of us really has a great understanding of what's going on in there.
Oh, so it's still enigmatic even to the chief engineer.
I'm the third chief engineer Eliza's had in the 3 years since you left.
Wow, the third? That's like one each and every year. And then they replace it with someone else. Wow. Damn. It's like no one's been able to crack Eliza in this case. No one can fully comprehend its true grace.
That's quite a lot of turnover.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, even for this industry. The way Rainer works is, he gives you 2 chances to do what you tell him you're going to do. After that...
Oh yes, do tell.
There is no third chance. I know.
Oh yes, so this game is called Eliza, which is a visual novel game from the developer Zachtronics, who are more well known for the very intricate and multiple answer puzzles, which you can, I'm trying to remember what the names of them are, but they're very intricate. They're not like any other puzzles out there. So this is like a first for them in terms of a visual novel. So it definitely strives home like the... Basically what this game is about is I am Evelyn. I'm coming back as a proxy for a AI counseling system, which they utilize to treat patients, to ask them questions, to prescribe them medications, or ways to go about their lives, and of course it's extremely flawed. It's not like talking to an actual human being. So, of course, I was one of the chief engineers who bringing this system to life, as this fella is describing here, and I just came back as a mere proxy, and there was a reason why I left, which hasn't been officially disclosed. It could be the matter of one of the past team members dying suddenly and I had a close attachment, or it could have been something else entirely. So that's the gist. We are currently on chapter 3 of what could be 7 choices.
We get these people in who say understanding Eliza will be easy because they're familiar with the type of program it is. And Eliza defeats them in the end.
Oh, Eliza is definitely the one that's not easy to, well, get to know. Very enigmatic, very mysterious. Overconfidence is a good predictor of failure. Maybe don't bring in guys like that. It's not the type of program they think it is. How would I answer this? Well, Eliza is supposed to be something entirely different from the usual AI or artificial intelligence. So I think a part of them is probably boasting about it too much without fully acknowledging, hey, this is definitely something that I do not quite understand. So I think, holy shit, I'm having problems comprehending what this machine is all about, and it won't allow me to dissect it correctly. I think it's not the type of program they think it is.
It's not the type of program they think it is.
And therefore, if they're not fully able to comprehend what it's all about, it leads them more likely to fail at the end, especially if not willing to fully understand it.
Yeah. On that note, I do have some questions I'd like to ask you, if you have the time.
Oh, so that way you can fully understand it. I mean, you are the chief engineer like the other ones who came before you.
I'm not sure I'll be able to help.
We'll see.
Well, your deciding to work as a proxy has turned out to be an interesting test case.
Ah.
As I'm sure you know, different proxies lead to slightly different client outcomes, even when we control for other variables. We're studying these specific traits that lead to the best results. Vocal qualities, proxy attitude and affect, responsiveness to the client, that sort of thing.
So yeah, what this basically means is during this AI consulate thing, they pay attention to words that the person utilizes or says and the tones that basically come about it. Like, are they feeling agitated? Are they feeling happy? Are the words they're saying considered positive or negative according to the system itself? Like, what is the tone of voice that is being utilized for Eliza that helps them to open up, so to speak? It's kind of scary, knowing that technology can actually touch in to that kind of foundation, but the only problem is, can they really provide that true human touch to actually help out a fellow human? Or in this case, a being unlike them?
One thing that's strange is that when you specifically serve as the proxy, clients report higher levels of satisfaction, pretty much across the board.
But I only... Let's see, how many people have I actually helped? Well, I don't know about the first one. The first one was like truly intense, so it was like 1, 2... I've only had like 6 people. How is it that they already guessed it? Oh, I'm terrific. I am stupendous. I am grand. Yes, that's sort of thing. I don't get it. I only had a few people that came to me. They must just be really bad. Yes.
Really? The ratings I get don't seem that abnormal to me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
seems...
that's because we normalize them per proxy, so nobody feels too bad.
Oh. So you don't downplay how mediocre a proxy is when the client leaves? Oh, God. Well, you're not being honest with your proxies, are you? You're not telling them that they're doing a half-assed job. That might bite them in the ass later on if you don't pay attention to that.
Just a little user experience trick.
Yeah, but how good is that user experience trick gonna last you in the long run?
Oh, I see.
Comparatively, though, you're basically the best proxy we've ever had.
Oh, I wonder why. It's because I actually had experience developing this program.
Any theories on why that might be the case?
Oh, okay, maybe that's not the reason. I'm very indecisive. I don't quite know if we really think about similar lines. I don't think that is the case. Unless I'm that withdrawn from the world.
I have no idea.
I wonder if it's because Eliza has a certain affinity with you.
Oh. Is the program that I helped to create besmirched by me? Smitten by my true coding capabilities?
At some level, perhaps unconsciously, your design for Eliza's reasoning was based on your own internal way of reasoning.
Oh.
We all
Really?
put something of ourselves into what we make. No matter how neutral we try to be, it sneaks in.
Stop copying my emotions, machine! I didn't say you can leech off of my good old-fashioned character.
That could account for your unusual compatibility with each other.
Why then?
Maybe.
Yeah, it would make sense, most certainly.
I certainly wasn't thinking of that when I designed it.
No. Oftentimes, whenever people design artificial intelligence in that caliber, it's already too late.
I don't know if I like knowing this.
Yeah, I would be a little bit, let's just say, put off by that aspect. A part of me would feel like, oh, great. Yes.
I'm certainly not blaming you for anything.
Oh. Okay.
It's just that true universality is one of our future development goals.
Okay.
It might be a problem if Eliza tends to like certain people more than others.
Well, okay then. Sounds dandy. I'm glad I can definitely utilize Eliza to its true capabilities.
Our aim is to provide quality care for everyone, regardless of any differentiating factors.
Maybe that's not possible, though. Its full potential. I don't know. I don't think that an AI console can really live up to the way of a human touch. I guess that's a part of me. I don't think... It would probably take a long period of time before it seems to come to that point. I feel like I would already be like 1,000 years dead before we reach that point. I mean, we have seen some androids being built with like human emotions and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know if we are truly capable of tapping into that potential yet. And if we do you think we'll come up to another situation like in the Matrix universe? I hope not.
Maybe that's not possible. Maybe there isn't a single counseling style that's best for everyone.
Yeah, that's nothing. I mean, if you think of the versatility of this, a machine then, it could be a jack of all trades for dealing with different mental states of mind for a human. But could he even master all of them? I don't think so. Like, will this AI counseling program maybe be good for those with depression, but horrendous for those that are suffering from bipolar disorder, or what's another one, PTSD, or anything else of a mental capacity? Yeah, there's another individual within this game who used to work for this company that is trying to create a AI program with a VR headset that can tap into people's dreams and learn from those. Who knows how that's gonna turn out?
Well, hopefully it's just a matter of uncovering the system's biases and correcting them.
Could you correct them? Could you now? Yeah, imagine all the possibilities of tapping into people's dreams. Do you even want to know what people are dreaming about? Then again, dreams can be very abstract, surreal.
We'll keep tuning things as we go, and eventually we'll have something universal, maybe with some dynamic layers on top.
Is it going to be something as simple as dynamic layers? Even though I'm not very skilled in terms of engineering and whatnot, something tells me that it's not going to do the trick.
That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I can only hope for the best for you.
There are more questions I want to ask about the initial research you were doing at the time Eliza was first created.
I'll see if I can
But
answer.
I'll save them for later.
Oh, okay. You saved me the trouble. Thank you kindly.
And I'd like to ask some questions about Damien too.
Are you sure you want to answer that question? Are you sure you want to travel down that path? Evelyn looks like she doesn't want to talk about Damien. That's probably the reason why she went secluded for 3 years. I mean, I know you mean it well. I know that Damien was part of the actual team, but I hope Evelyn rejects that sort of notion.
If you're okay with that, I'll understand if that's a sensitive topic.
Well, let's see. Is it a sensitive topic? Okay, apparently it's not a sensitive topic. Okay. Erland, you are extremely lucky this fine day.
Not anymore. It's been a while.
I was just looking out for Evelyn there, because that was something that seems to have always been brought up.
Okay, great. I need to run to a meeting now with the team in Romania, but I really appreciate you taking the time.
Ooh, a team in Romania, I see. Oh, the internet went out for you for a moment? Ah, that can really suck. Just making sure that my internet didn't go out either. There have been some moments here and there in which either I freeze up all of a sudden, where I can't even move my features, and I end up being a very odd-looking PNG. There have been some instances where that transpires, but other times it's always my monitor, which I think I need to get a new one so my virtual consciousness wouldn't have to blank out every now and again. You hear that, buddy, down below? Oh. Looks like he's unconscious peacefully. Never mind, I'll let him sleep.
The team in Romania.
Yeah. They handle most of the progression and reward system.
Oh, reward system. So in this case,
Isn't there a big time difference from here?
There is. Sometimes they stay up late to meet with us, and sometimes we get up early to meet with them.
Yeah, Romania has a very different time zone. I'm trying to think which time zone it's in and where Romania is, because, yeah, that would be a big time zone. Wouldn't that be like 8 to 10 hours? Like, advance?
There are teams in Munich and Hyderabad too.
Hyderabad. Where is Hyderabad located in Europe? I know Munich is in Germany, but I can't remember about Hyderabad.
As you can imagine, coordinating development is a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, especially if you have a team in a very different part of the world. Those time zones can really skew a lot of things, especially if you plan to collaborate with someone from a different country. That can be tough. Sounds like a pain.
Sounds like a pain.
No, it's fun.
Oh, you had a little bit of hesitation there. Is it really that fun to have them wake up in the middle of the night to accommodate you on the meeting, or you having to wake up in the middle of the night to accommodate them? I don't know what your sleep schedule is like, but hopefully it's tranquil.
I'll contact you later with additional questions, but no rush or anything.
I hope not.
Thank you, Evelyn. If you don't mind me calling you by your first name.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder, when I'm looking at Erlen's glasses, they almost look like the ones I currently have as a human. They kind of do, actually. I'm very well, none again. I'm trying to think because mine do have, like, some structures, some of the frames on the bottoms, now that I think about it. But it's close. Okay. Yes, it's fine.
It's fine.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. I'll be in touch.
And like that, he disappeared, asking permission to call me by my first name. It's like he comes from another era. An era where they actually show proper courtesy? No. I mean, it's always good to double check, especially like in regards to how you would like to be called, or what your pronouns may be, or if you want to do a certain activity with them, if that's alright with them, or something to that degree. Yeah, it's common courtesy. You know, make them comfortable in their own ways. And like that, I disappear too. Okay, now we get to look around. What do we got? Skanda. Humanity's potential or technology. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. You know, a lot of taglines like that kind of boast about that sort of thing, but sometimes they don't even fully comprehend what the true definition of that would be. And we'll look at the good old server towers. Erlen said the program hasn't changed much since I worked on it. But then why do they need all this? Is this just for data thought put and processing? Or are they running a cryptocurrency scam? NFTs, anyone? Anyone else want to get into NFTs? Get some good old-fashioned apes? Mount onto your shot? Put it on your head? Don't even have to right-click it to get it for free? Spend tens of thousands of dollars? Hot damn! Seriously, though. Alright. I can't imagine the size of a team you need to run something like this. Bigger than any team I've been on, that's certain. And Erlen is in charge of all of them? Well, he didn't look that perturbed by the whole situation. I mean, yeah, this is a lot of this is a huge server farm right here. Oh, my word. Alright, let's continue then. I think I spent enough time here. Is it time to, do some proxy work? Skanda hasn't changed much since I left. It's even bigger now than it was, but the feeling is the same. Could I come back to this? Oh! Alright, it's time for some proxy work, but first probably I'm gonna get some cookies! Ray comes over immediately when she sees me get back to the counseling office.
Hey, you're not in trouble or anything, are you?
No, does that... Wait, let me answer your question with a personal question. Does that change the outcome of what cookie I get?
I just saw you being whisked away in a Skanda car toward headquarters.
Yes, I was kidnapped. I was placed in a huge bag and lobbed and probably lunged all around a limousine. You know how that goes.
They didn't give me any details, which is kind of unusual.
I don't know. Does that deserve me of a good old kitchen sink cookie? Those massive ones without the whatever the shit they got in the kitchen? Oh, let's put some of this good old dust in here, some good old fingernails and caramel bits, toffee. Oh, wait, here's some poop particles. That would be exquisite for a cookie. Gives it a nice texture. Yep. Ray's too perceptive for me to continue avoiding this conversation. Time to come clean.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, yep.
So I have something to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I used to work here. I mean, at Skanda, as an engineer.
Oh, so she's revealing it.
I used to work on Eliza. I'm sorry for not saying it earlier, but... I didn't want special treatment.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why.
Is that why I'm always so good with my people we support?
Why what?
I suspected something was going on with you, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I thought I might have seen a name like yours in our internal documentation at one point, but I didn't want to pry.
I'm a Jungkook for my son.
If
Oh,
you've
lovely.
fallen on hard times, I understand. There's no shame in it. Everyone has to make ends meet now and then. We get plenty of people who come to Eliza proxy work because they're trying to get back on their feet after some kind of trouble.
That's not so far off, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
understand. Your secret's safe with me.
Yeah. Really? Is it truly safe? I mean, could I get 2 cookies knowing that you can keep my secret? Not tell anyone else within this office all about it? You know? 2 cookies? One of a different flavor? Peanut butter or, I don't know, chocolate chip? Maybe give me a loaf of banana bread while you're at it?
Should it be a secret?
Shouldn't it be? The other proxies here might think you had an ulterior motive for being here. Spying on them or something.
No, I suppose that is true. Trying to infiltrate and see if they're working well with the technology that you built.
That's definitely not why I'm here. Also, I left Skanda quite a while ago.
I always feel like I'm mispronouncing Skanda. Yeah, that sounds good. Or, yeah, I mean, you can have a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. I mean, those do exist.
I know that, but they might still get the idea. Trust me, it's better not to give the other proxies here any reason to be suspicious.
You know what? I have never met any other proxy in this game yet. I've been the only one who's been doing any proxy work here, that I haven't met any of the other people who do it.
I'm sure your real reasons are good ones, whatever they might be.
M&M cookies can be good, the candy-coated ones. Though I have had ones where the candy-coated was, like, dyed with a vegetable oil. Not a vegetable oil. Like a beet coloring. Like something from beet juice. It's actually not bad.
If there's
More
anything I can do to
natural
help,
thing.
you'll let me know, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
I mean, I get it. I know someone who's an engineer for a food delivery app, and he drives for it sometimes too.
Oh.
You want to see through the eyes of your users, don't you? It's amazing what you can catch by doing that.
Oh, so now you're feeling... Ooh. Is this the angle we're going with?
It's something like that. But like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on the Eliza program again.
Yeah, it's been undecisive. Either I'm gonna work on that dream sort of VR set that's that creepy old man who's into BDSM wants to go ahead. If I wanted to go with my old friends or quote unquote friends, Eliza program for the coding, or do I want to go on my own routine? Or maybe hang out with some noise electronic music.
Wait, no? But that's your career.
Well, just because it was my career doesn't mean that it's the career that I want to go back to. Sometimes one's emotions change. What seemed to have got them great joy might not apply anywhere. My own evil plan? I don't know. Evelyn doesn't strike me as someone who would be malicious or anything. Something, unless I'm not really reading her vocal tones that well. That is something that I do have a weakness. So, who knows at this point?
It was.
Yes. Emphasis
I'm
was.
not even sure if I have a career anymore.
Okay, that's kind of depressing. But there's still time for you. to see if there's something that brings you joy.
Oh, hang on, I just thought of something.
Cookie! It's a cookie time!
That means you worked with Raynor, right?
Well, she did possibly run because a former team member of theirs by the name of Damien, like I mentioned before, he died, unfortunately, and I wasn't sure what circumstances it was. I can't quite remember. That's a possibility that comes into play, so we'll have to wait and see with that.
A little bit. For most of the time I was at Skanda, he wasn't anyone I spoke to, though.
Oh. Well, good idea because he's pompous as a prickly asshole.
Too high up the chain, doing his executive stuff.
Of course. Looking at it the business point of view and not the personal.
He got more involved when we were starting to commercialize the technology, but I left not long after that. So we only overlapped for a short time.
But that's so cool, though.
I guess I can appreciate your enthusiasm for the whole aspect. Not sure if you would have the same idea when you meet with Raynor, because he is so up his own huge asshole that I cannot even believe it.
I can't believe you actually worked with Raynor Sai.
Ugh. Trust me. Once you meet him, Ray, you might not get the right impression. There's always a quote that comes to mind. Never meet your heroes. But honestly, there are still occasions in which the people you look up to are actually good people. You can't have a pessimistic downplay of it. It is disappointing when you find out someone that you look up to in terms of entertainment or knowledge or whatnot turns out to be a scummy person, but hopefully that doesn't necessarily go down to every person you look up to. Because there's still a few gems out there that treat people with respect and whatnot. They're all out there. And sometimes they just don't like to brag about how kind they are. They just do it with their actions, not with their words. Something Raynor could learn a lesson from!
Well, yeah, I did. I'm not sure it's that impressive.
Yeah. She already gets it, kind of. Ray lowers her gaze at me.
I've worked for this company for 3 years. Do you think he knows my name?
Probably not.
Do you think he's aware I exist?
Probably
I
not.
worked on the very first Eliza deployment and managed 3 counseling centers today, and I'll bet you anything he has no idea who I am.
Yeah, that's probably the same case for everyone else, unfortunately. I don't think any of the higher-ups, unless they really are in tune with the people that are working for them, like really care about them, would even know who is working for the company. So this is sad. This is definitely seems like power over rather than power with. Yeah, it would be nice to meet some streamers and YouTubers. I know they're hosting TwitchCon in the near future, but personally, I'm gonna hold off on honestly attending anything like that until things kind of die down a little bit, and until things are more in the clear.
Maybe he does. You never know.
Well, true. I mean, the only reason he knew my name was basically because I worked on the Eliza. I helped to make it what it is today. Well, with some improvements here and there and whatnot, but I don't know. I just hope Raynor doesn't see Ray as something insignificant, because that could be a real downer, especially since he shows such enthusiasm for him.
Evelyn, most people who work for big companies don't interact with the people at the top, ever. Allow yourself some pride.
Pride? Do you think I would be prideful of some people who don't really see the big picture or doesn't really care about how I think or how I feel? Would that be something to be prideful of? In fact, I would probably be disgusted. Be a Vegeta. It's about the Saiyan pride. Oh, God. Poor Vegeta. Poor Vegeta. It's still quite something that apparently Vegeta gets a lot more love than Goku does, oftentimes. Which is kind of cool, because Vegeta is a very complex character, especially in the Dragon Ball Z stages. I'm glad that a lot of people seem to be really liking him. I mean, he's probably wouldn't be the best person to hang out with in real life, but who knows? You know, personally, it's not something to be proud of.
It's nothing to be proud of.
Sure, if you say so. At least I'll always think you're cool.
Oh, Ray, you know what? Screw the cookies. I want to hug you right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna make myself more accurate to what is actually, get myself more attuned to. No, not that. Not that. That's not me. That is not me. Gigantic. Come on. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There. There. There you go. There. Now we can shrink back down. Okay. Thank you for the boost of confidence, though, Ray. I think I appreciate more than I appreciate Raina. And trust me, that's a huge thing to be proud of.
By the way, what are you up to tonight? Want to come over and help me bake cookies?
She's invited me to bake cookies? Maybe. I think Nora wants to hang out with me.
Maybe.
It'll be fun, I promise. Now I can't wait to get in the kitchen tonight. Ah, there's nothing like the smell of fresh baked treats.
You said it. I was worried Ray would be mad at me for keeping a secret, but she wasn't at all. If anything, she warmed up to me quite a bit. You got vulnerable with someone, you've been transparent, and now they think of you in a much better light. Isn't that something? See? Being vulnerable against, coworkers or friends and whatnot can really lead to good advantages. Then again, it depends on what you're being vulnerable about. There are some things in which might cause a little bit of controversy. And that depends on what actions you took, or what you're confiling or, bringing about. Well, at least for us, it was something that was positively received. I don't really understand why, though. It's hard to imagine there's anything to cool about what I used to do. Oh, it's Erland. He's returning back. Evelyn, it was wonderful to meet you, and thank you for allowing me to contact you to ask, additional questions. I'm not sure I say this in person, but I have to admit to being something of a fan of yours. Oh my word. Well, at least he's not being creepy. He was definitely not creepy about it when we were talking. He was much more calm and collected ever since I read your papers when I was in school. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you like this. Haha, so I know Eliza was named after this old computer program that pretended to be a therapist, but you mentioned it wasn't called that initially. I'd like to know, what did you call Eliza when you were working on it? Oh, jeez. Sometimes I always think like I'm gonna freeze up one way or another here. Ha ha! Seriously, I think I need to get a new monitor. Maybe two, because I've only worked with one. Did it have a name? In the very early days, it wasn't a set thing. Each of us had a different name we used. Soren called it the Digital Therapy Project. That's boring! That's a boring name. Soren, you're goddamn mundane. You know that? Well, and creepy too, but still, you're goddamn boring! And we often refer to things by their components. The language processing unit, the emotional reasoning engine, and so on. Now that I think about it, I did have my own name. I called it the Listener. Okay, that makes a lot more sense because you're actually listening in on the people that come in to be helped. You're lending an ear. Like you should be as a therapist. Yep, kinda is, because that's what it was meant to do. Listen to people. Yes! The Listener. That's interesting. Thank you. I expected you to ask more technical questions. Yeah, you're the chief engineer. I was expecting you to, inquire about the type of code that I used or the layering that I did. The technical stuff isn't enough on its own. I think that's the mistake my predecessors made. It's details like this that really help me wrap my brain around the system. If I understand the programmer, then I understand the program. Does that make sense? Yeah. I personally think it makes sense, even though I have no bloody idea how to operate or code any sort of program. But yeah, I can definitely get it. All right. Gonna drink some water here real quick, and then we can continue on forward. Ah! There we go. Water has been quenched. Chief engineer for Eliza, huh? Wonder how long he'll last. Not that it's any of my business now. Well. Oh, what now? Whose article? Oh, Ray sent me an article. Let's see. The article came out. I think it turned out okay, but the emphasis on me is a little embarrassing. It's time for an article reading! Northwest Voices, the local spark inside the latest tech revolution. Ray Bukhari smiles as she recounts the litany of jobs she worked over the course of her life. Line cook, truck driver, substitute teacher, theater manager, even a stint as the chicken coop builder over one summer. This might sound weird, but I truly believe all of those jobs contributed in some way toward preparing me for what I'm doing now, she says. What's Bukhari doing now? Playing a key role on Eliza, the AI-based counseling service and one of Skanda's major new strategic priorities as the tech giant takes on mental wellness. As the manager for 3 of Skanda's Seattle area Eliza council locations, yes, because this entire story takes place in Seattle, Washington, including the flagship location in Queen Anne, Bukhari is at the center of this rapidly growing business. Most of the initial beta version trials were conducted here, she says as she walks me through the office. Engineers are always stopping by from headquarters to shadow our proxies in order to see the product in use. Sometimes they'll test out new features here too before rolling them out for everyone. Eliza was originally developed as a skunkworks project inside Skanda by a small team of idealistic engineers. But once Skanda CEO Raina Sai decided to make it a full product and the cornerstone of the company's mental health offerings, the number of people working on the project exploded in size. That's where Bukhari. Again, my pronunciation can oftentimes be absolute horrendous. And her experience came in. I remember telling them, I may not have a computer science degree like many of you, but I've been handling shit and getting it done in so many different solutions by now, I'm sure I can get your shit done too, she says, laughing. Yeah, get that shit down. Toss it down that toilet. In the industry that leads to lionize the archetype of the lone genius programmer, appreciation for roles like Bukhari's can be more muted. Every high-flying tech company has these unsung but totally crucial operational staff who work behind the scenes, says Ed Park, Skanda's service director for the Eliza project. You won't recognize them in the media or see them speaking at the big conferences, but the industry couldn't function without them. I wonder if this is a PR move saying this statement. Does Ed Park know every one of them who's working on it, I wonder? Maybe not. Or maybe it does. I could be wrong. Bukhari says recognition isn't what she's after. What's far more important to her is feeling like she is making a difference. People don't seek out counseling for lots of reasons. It's too embarrassing. It's too expensive. It may not even be available in their area. Eliza has the opportunity to address those barriers. A chance for everyone to get some form of help. As we come to an end in the tour, Bukhari shares a personal story. My brother has had some struggles off and on all through his life. He's wrestled with substance abuse and other problems. I worry about him, but even though he says he's interested in getting help, he always backs away at the last moment. Maybe he saw it as a sign of weakness, which shouldn't be the case. And honestly shouldn't. In our family, we kept things bottled up. We never acknowledged our problems. There was this sense that strong people could just power through whatever issues they had, she recalls. I think that attitude is part of why he's so stubborn. If he had been able to open up and talk to me or talk to our parents instead of staying silent, I think things could be different. I think so too, personally. It really feels like a big weight off your shoulders if you basically confide in someone that you immensely trust. So that's why I want to do this. And I want to tell your readers, if there's someone out there having a tough time and don't know who to talk to, please try Eliza. I would probably say, please talk with someone that you feel closely to. It just sits there and listens to you. Unlike your friends or relatives who will never respond to you by bringing up their own problems or berating you, it just listens. I mean, sure, there are individuals out there who like to, when they basically hear about someone they're listening in, their concerns, what they may be going through, and probably bring up their own set of problems to go about. It's like, you're not suffering alone. At least there's other people who's having the same predicament. That doesn't necessarily make me feel better now, does it? Oftentimes that's not the case. So there are still human beings that are just wanting to listen, though. I mean, they can be empathetic. They can ask about certain things and not try to bring in their own problems or their own baggage into the picture. You just gotta find that one individual in your life that is willing to, see your vulnerable side and not judge it. And if you do happen to find that individual within your life that you can confide in to basically give yourself a little bit of confidence and maybe show your vulnerability to without them judging or perceiving you as someone who is weak, then my bloody hell, you got a good friend. Stick that friend closely. And hello, Cat Lady Crates. Greetings, salutations. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are taking care. Welcome. We have been... What is... Here I am trying to say a heartful thing, and you just have to say you're judging me. Great. Wonderful. You know what? I'm out of here. God damn. Play the music. Play the music. Go ahead. There we go. Oh, screw it. Ah, screw it. Just go it off. Go fuck it off. Sorry. All right, you know what? Okay, I'm coming back. Jeez. No, I'm not ending the stream already here. Okay, got it. God damn it. Okay. Oh, great. You just had to clip that, didn't you? Oh, lovely. Thanks for doing that. That really makes a difference. Yay. Seriously, though, thank you. Clipping does do a lot. All right, so we went through that. Is it time for solitaire? I've been through over an hour not playing solitaire. I think it's time for me to play some solitaire, goddammit. So I beaten all the difficulties except for expert. So now, what a proper time for you to come back into it, Cat Lady, for me to play solitaire. You know, this was the content that you wanted me to play, right? All right. You? Okay. I mean, we could put you there. All right. There we go. All right, I think we're making some progress. Can slap you right there. Let's see. Sigh. Yeah, you go ahead and sigh. This is your punishment for basically making fun of me just earlier today. And you look at that, I already failed. Da. New game. There we go. Hey. When a game fascinates me like this one, you know it's always sublime. Alright, so now which one of these should I move? Probably this one. And let's see. Ooh, yeah, let's do it. Alright. Do I really want to bring it up there? I think so. There we go. No. Yeah, this one. Definitely that one. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely this. There we go. There's another one. Now we got a space. Isn't that dandy? And I hear some jackass trying to rev up their engines and being the big old fast ass. Alright, so let's bring that there. Let's look around. Oh! Do we really? Yep, there we go. Now we got another space. Okay, let's see. We can probably move any one of these. Oh, but... There we go. That might make things a little bit easier. Yep, I think we can do this. Things are looking smooth so far. I hate when they rev up their engines. You be quiet out there! No one's bloody impressed by how much noise you're making outside! Ah! And of course, they still do it without even listening, without even saying a bloody word. What is my life? Okay, so let's see here. Do I want to go with this route, or do I want to go... Maybe... Do I really want to go with that? Let's see. Possibly. And there we go. Did I... Oh, wait. We can... Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. That's it. It's... Well, yeah, I'll trust you. Think carefully, I got an achievement. I have now officially beaten Solitaire on all difficulties. Revel in my superiority when it comes to Solitaire. Hallelujah. All right. God damn. They are really revving it up out there today. Reminds me of that goddamn South Park episode in which they try to boast about their absolute mad beasts that make a lot of noise when they're just compensated for something inadequate in their lives. Yeah, cheer me on that part. All right. You know what this means? Probably no more Solitaire, unless I feel like it. So yeah, look at that. I got an achievement. All right. Let's look around here and see what we can look at. Ray must work extra hard to make sure these plants stay healthy. She really likes to go the extra mile on things. That is admirable. It never stopped being weird to me how our little idea grew and grew and turned into this. Didn't even take that long. And on some level, I always knew the therapy sessions went to a big server room somewhere. But it was something else to see it in person. It reminded me how easy it is to forget what's going on behind the scenes when we interact with technology. Anything else I could interact? Can I have some water? I guess not. Is it time for a proxy session? Yup. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Well, this one's gonna be fun. Hello, Mark Forrest. Hey, all right. First proxy session of the day. Let's see how this turns out. He looks like he doesn't even want to be here. Nope.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, hello.
Yep. He doesn't sound like he wants to be here at all.
How are you today?
Let's just get this over with.
Oh, see, I was right. And normally I'm horrible with deciphering body language. I'm getting better.
Okay. What brings you here today?
Human resources.
Whoa. Did the human resources in this department force him to come here because of some complaint, I wonder?
The HR department brings me here today.
Why do you say the HR department brings you here today?
Because they're making me do this.
Oh, there has to be a reason why HR is bringing you out here. They don't just bring anyone without a certain reason.
Because apparently I have anger management issues.
Apparently. Something tells me you do.
I sense that you're upset about this. Please tell me more.
I'll tell you more. This is ridiculous. I was here before any of them. I was here since the beginning, okay? I mean, look at my badge. Skanda employee number 617. That's a 3-digit number. I've been here for more than 25 years. Yeah, that was back when what you communicated was more important than your specific communication style.
Oh, so is it within the same company as me then? I thought this was for HR for a different company.
Before hurting a kid's feelings became a bigger no-no than running a viable business. Back then, we had a single office building. Just one.
Oh, so you are reminiscent about the good old days?
At that size, you fail a product launch, there's no more company. We all had to put in 150, 200, 300% to keep our shit together.
Oh, and how did that fare? It looks like it didn't fare well if you're up to this point.
We were in the trenches, man. Bullets whizzing by overhead, artillery exploding everywhere, no fucking air support.
Oh.
Did it suck? Yeah, it did. But you know what? We shipped some great fucking products. We built this company into what it is today. And invented technology the whole world uses now.
Oh, mozzarella sticks.
Nationals, everyone.
Sounds delectable.
But now we're big and slow, complacent, resting on our laurels while our competitors run circles around us.
Oh, really? So apparently we had some competition, besides the one that Soren using.
Our new hires don't understand the urgency of that. I need to make them understand, okay?
Oh. So you think some intimidation factors are gonna make your fellow employees work better?
Our history, unless we get that drive back.
Oh yes, and forcibly giving them that drive back is gonna solve all sorts of issues. You can't just force it onto people.
Why do you need to make them understand?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but young people are really pissy and entitled these days.
Pissy and entitled, you say? I don't know about you, but that almost sounds like you right now.
We recruit from top 20 computer science programs. These kids have been wined and dined all through their higher education.
You don't know that for certain. Maybe some of them happy.
Every one of our competitors wants to hire them, so they get used to that. Now they all want to know what Skanda can do for them, not the other way around.
Okay, Boomer. Whatever you say, Boomer.
Why would we want these conceited, over-celebrated whelps on our team? I'll never understand the logic there. Now, Mark, you have to be nice to the new hires or they won't like it here. Okay, so what, I'm just supposed to pretend everyone's work is great, even if it's a pile of stinking garbage?
Or you could just basically emphasize, hey, I noticed this certain situation. I like what you got going on here, but I'm noticing a few flaws here in the meantime. Something about this doesn't seem right. I'm wondering if I can probably help you to pinpoint that, and maybe we can work on something together to make it better. You know? Instead of just thinking that it's a stinking pile of garbage, you can, work on their level and see what could be learned from the experience.
I'm sorry, but if I see shit, I'm gonna say that is shit.
Oh, just simple black and white for you, it seems.
Tiptoeing around everyone's feelings all the time. That's how you end up with shitty products. That's how this company winds up dead, okay?
Oh, really? Uh-huh. And I'm sure it's their fault for that. Yes. That's not Boomer logic.
Every day here. We can't take anything for granted. Someone needs to tell them that this isn't summer camp. This isn't fucking Coachella.
Oh, it's a music festival reference. Look at that. Kid it hip with the kids. Ooh-hoo-hoo.
Either you do the work and provide something of value to this company, or you get the hell out of here. Those are my rules.
Oh. But you're not the head of the company, though, are you?
Here's a question, Mark.
Yeah, let's see about this.
If you were able to have something you wanted right now, what would you choose?
I would choose to not waste my time here and get back to work. Believe it or not, I have important things to do. You know, things that dramatically affect this company's bottom line.
Oh, look, and the health rate is definitely spiking up here.
Instead, I'm stuck here talking to this dipshit chatbot. Honestly, I don't even know why this division exists. I mean, what's the end game here?
To be concerned about people's mental health, which looks like you're not really doing a good job of accommodating. You start thinking of 2030.
This company has lost its mind, you know that? We used to be unstoppable, man. We used to build real software. Ironclad software.
Oh, Ironclad.
SwiftMail. All your corporate communications, put it all in there. It's fast, it's robust, it works. Boom. InfoVault. Index and search all your records. Any information you want. Easy. Done. But this fucking psychotherapy app thing. What's the fucking point? What does it actually do for anybody?
Well, yes, it is flawed, but I think this man is not fully recognizing the importance of mental health, especially with your heart rate.
I've heard through the grapevine that results are inconclusive so far. You know what they call a remedy that maybe doesn't work? Snake oil.
Yeah, snake oil does happen to have its lovely inconclusive findings.
Believe me, if I was the group program manager here, I would have killed it years ago. Pointless. I mean, I have no fucking idea why it survived. Well, yeah, maybe I do. I heard a rumor that Raynor liked this chick on the team.
Oh, now he's getting personal. I wonder how Evelyn is gonna take to this.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the level of decision-making we've sunk to here. But Mark, we're so successful. We dominate the market. Yeah, we do. And that's exactly why we should be worried. Just when you think you've won and you start to relax, that's when the wolves come and tear you limb from limb.
And then you just have to basically adapt to some changes. It just depends on how you do so.
You can make me take these fucking anger management classes, but that's not going to save this company.
Oh, and I suppose you're gonna save this company. Oh, you are absolutely cute.
Costs are up, revenue is flat. Our cloud business is losing competitiveness. We're being outwitted, outplayed on every level, man. And we're just letting them do it to us.
I mean, I haven't seen any. In this game, it doesn't really seem to indicate, you know, the downsides to this yet. We've only been looking at the positive ones. Then again, it's probably because of the article links that I've been given from fellow coworkers that's shown the positivity.
We're too busy wasting time on shit like how I wasn't nice enough to the new hires.
Well, being accommodating to people, you know, when they're being hired does go a long way in making them stay, especially if they do have talent. So, not being nice doesn't really give us a good outlook.
Why do you think the new hires felt this way about you?
What? Why do they feel that way? Look, they get heated. That's the way it is.
Oh, yes, and that's how we just deal with it.
You think the Allies had time to make sure every soldier's feelings weren't hurt before they stormed the beaches at Normandy?
I think you're pulling at some very lofty fallacies there, buddy. Plus, this isn't about World War II. This is about your company.
And shit, don't tell me that this is not a war, because that's exactly what this is.
Right now, I would not make a good therapist in this situation. Most certainly not. I would probably get in trouble for laughing at this assumption and not taking this man seriously. But I don't know. That comic just made me laugh.
My responsibility is to make sure we get great products out the door, on spec, on time.
So, by your definition of great products, you mean products that aren't faulty, that are ready to go without any failings, no defects or anything like that. No need for advanced repairs unless it's like several years old and whatnot. That kind of thing. I hope you're living up to that sort of establishment that you're giving off.
And I happen to be very good at that.
Overconfidence is a weakness.
But if you want to start interfering with my ability to do my job, then we're going to have a problem, okay?
You definitely do have anger issues.
What do you think would make things better for you?
I mean, you know what? Nothing. I'm probably gonna hang it up pretty soon anyway. Go ahead, record that with all your cameras and shit. I don't care anymore. Wouldn't be surprised if Raynor's watching me right now. Raynor, you son of a bitch. You owe me a lot. Me, guys like me, we built this company while you sat up there in your star chamber, drinking
Ooh.
tea and lording it over us.
You know what? I don't think just drinking tea, mind you. I mean, they did have a nice assortment of water, basically, but still. I'm not sure if it's tea that they would be drinking in the fine establishments.
Yeah, I don't remember that blank look you gave me at the holiday party. Like, who is this guy? Does he even matter? What does he do?
Well, to be frank, I think, unfortunately, a lot of the higher-ups don't even know what the employees are in their company. Especially if they're expansive like this one is.
Too busy appreciating ancient pottery to remember one of your oldest and most loyal battalion commanders?
Maybe you gave him a bad impression?
One of the humble, everyday guys who made you a fucking billionaire.
I don't know. You don't seem very humble to me.
What a waste of time. So, are we gonna wrap this up?
Oh, now comes the fun part, basically. Let's see how this transpires.
Mark, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Lakeside Fishing. It may help you take your mind off things.
What are you kidding? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta get back to work.
Oh, because all your life is all about work.
You
Yep.
can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Someone around here at some point needs to do some fucking work.
Well, I'm sure they're doing just fine without you.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
I mean, come on. You can slot in a couple of minutes to relax and unwind. It may be good for you. You'll probably be less uptight then. Wouldn't you say, Mark? You're probably not going to see Mark anytime soon unless AR forces him to again.
Mark?
You really think this piece of shit's gonna be the next big thing, huh?
Yep.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
Oh! Ah, there we go. There we go. That delivery. She was so fed up with him.
Yeah, okay, goodbye. Fuck me.
Yeah. I'd rather not, though. I'd rather not. I feel like it would be extremely unpleasant. It would just take away from your work. Right? Skanda Old Guard. Attitudes might be changing now, but the history is there. Sometimes the past is hard to escape. Alright, let's look at this lamp. Whoever decorated this room might have picked a soft lamp with the idea it would help clients feel calm. I'm not sure it's working. Nope, not especially with not that person. I didn't recognize his face or name, though. He must be part of a different division than the one I was in. Glad I never had to work with him. Yeah, if you did, you probably would never had maybe worked on that project and this would never have taken place. Time for my next client already. I wonder if it's one of our regulars. Let's see if you're much more pleasant. Oh. You are a new one. Let's see. Harriman Gunawan. I feel like I'm mispronouncing that name, but we'll see how it's spelled or pronounced.
Hello, Harmon.
Harriman, that's it.
You found the place okay?
Yeah, no trouble at all.
Ah.
It's been nice since the fog cleared this morning, hasn't it?
Sure. We can dispense with the chit-chat. I'm ready to begin.
Ooh, wants to get down to the point.
Okay. What brings you here today?
First, let me note that I'm a graduate student at the University of Washington.
Oh, so already the boasting begins.
I'm a PhD candidate in literature, English literature.
Cocky. Yep, here comes the cockiness. First we get the boomer, or I don't know what sort of demographic or time was that former person was. Angry old guy, cocky.
The crux of the matter I've come here to discuss is that I've been having something of a difficult time with one of the other students currently in the program. Before I get to the specifics, let me just first establish something that might be relevant. One thing I know about myself is that I've always had a certain fear of being left out. It's a very general feeling, and one that's difficult to ascribe to any specific cause in my childhood or my parents, etc. Whatever the case, it might be beneficial to the remedial process to figure out where this feeling originated from.
Oh. So at least he seems to have a good, clear idea of what could be the matter. At least that he's taken some initiative. You think he sounds like Yahtzee? That's interesting. You think he could speak faster then in that case? I would imagine trying to see if he could speak faster than that.
Perhaps you might explore that in this or a future counseling session.
I would like to know who the voice actors were for this, because they have been doing an exceptional good job.
Sure. I'm prepared to listen to any topic you'd like to discuss.
It's not even that I've been left out, exactly. If I try to think back in my life, I know that I've been afforded a certain share of privilege.
Oh, so he acknowledges that he's been much more fortunate than a lot of others.
But I'm still afflicted with this bothersome notion that I've missed out on friendships, relationships, other opportunities.
Well, being absorbed with one's studies can really leave you out on that kind of thing.
This is all just a bit of a background to help you understand my current situation with regard to another student in my program. I hope you're following all this. I realize now I have no idea how much intelligence you actually possess as a computerized system.
Oh, trust me, I comprehend. I comprehend everything you say. Oh, hold on here.
I'm following you. Please continue.
Perfect. So, her name is Sylvia, and her writing is incredible. Everything she writes, it's brilliant. She's perceptive, insightful, mordantly funny.
I'm trying to think what mordantly it means. I can't quite remember what the definition of something that's mordant. Let's see. Let me find out what mordant is. I recognize the term, but the definition of it escapes me. So let's see. Biting and caustic in thought, matter, or style. Incisive. Okay. Or sharply caustic or sarcastic, as wit or speaker biting. So something that's sharp. I see. Okay, now I'm getting a good idea.
Just some of the best writing I've read from anyone at all. And she's a grad student, like me, in the same program. Though we have different advisors, so it's not so simple to find the pretext to start a casual conversation.
You know, I've honestly been thinking about utilizing streams where we learned a word of a day and see if I can initiate it in part of my streams. Kind of like in a somewhat regular occasion, so that way I can remember what the word means and how to place it within a conversation. Looking that up kind of makes me want to go to that idea in the near future, because there are certain words I would like to enlighten myself on and utilize in regular conversation without trying to demean or belittle anyone in particular, because I'm learning alongside the people with the words themselves. And I don't want to be a word monger, because that has happened so many other times before.
She's also quite attractive on a physical level, so that adds another dimension of complexity to the proceedings.
So, I guess that's one thing to put on it. I guess she's attractive, but even if she wasn't to your definition of subjective level of attraction? Yes.
Then there's her friend group, which is very well established. She's with them every day, smiling, laughing.
And you weren't invited to those friend groups, I take it.
So that further complicates things, since I'm not sure how to approach the group and steer things so that I can engage in a direct conversation with her. I wish I had the bullheaded confidence it would take to simply approach her, but you see, I don't.
Oh, you got some anxiety going on? Some social anxiety?
Listen to me talk. I feel like a schoolboy with my heart aflutter.
Oh, you want to get to know her
I
better
didn't think
then.
this kind of thing lasted into one's adulthood, but I suppose I know now that it does.
Yep,
It
he
sounds
does
like
sound
you might be
anxious.
anxious about this.
Is it a matter of anxiety? I don't know what I can do, other than muster up the courage somehow.
Yep, you gotta fake some confidence in order to bring some change every now and again.
I just need to tell her very simply that I admire her. She's such a good writer. Well, I don't expect you to understand it, of course, but well, she is. She really is.
Well, I guess I can't quite understand it because I've never read any of it, but I guess I'll take your word for it then. Watch, he shows me a part of what she writes. Of course, that probably would break the confidentiality rules or something to that degree, but if I were to read it, it just goes, this mine goes up the chimney and you see all the coal going out in his head and go kabloop. Yeah, this is very enlightening. I like more the curiosity there. I can see how you are so infatuated with this line of prose. I applaud you. Good. Yes, congratulations for seeing something in this type of writing style that I simply cannot comprehend. Good day to you, sir. All right.
Okay, Harmon. I want you to imagine things going well. What does that look like?
Ideally, we'd start talking, have a wonderful conversation, spend more and more time together, support each other's work, fall in love, have a lot of sex.
What?
Spend the rest of our lives in the warmth of each other's genius.
Oh, okay. I guess having a lot of sex is a good way to see a situation and God. Okay. I like your bluntness, I guess. I guess you really think of her as, all that attraction there, buddy. Oh, yes. Instantly, like, ooh, I find you absolutely sexy. But you know what's even sexier? Your prose. Read it to me while I bang you in the back. Oh, God damn it, that's so horrible. Yeah, this guy. And come on, Automod, why did you think that turd was offensive? Turd? Turd! Really, I seriously need to basically... Who wants to be a mod? Who wants to be a mod who's a close friend of mine? Any takers? Because this is getting ridiculous. Turd. The Automod thought that turd would be too much of a sensitive topic for me. Wow, I am feeling so overly offended right now by a turd. A turd within the conversation. Like I can't even manage all around that, it seems. Turd is too much for me. Oh no, I'm going down. Oh no. Yeah, I think I will probably have to do that for my bot as well. I just need to remember how to go about that, honestly. Because this is getting ridiculous. Maybe I just need to turn it off at this point. Because hardly any time when my Automod is utilized within the chat, it's stream elements. So I basically have to go into that one and rework it, I think. I just have to remember how to do so because, yeah. I feel like it's really causing more hilarity than helpfulness at this point.
I realize that may be something of a fanciful notion at this stage.
Yes, the sexual intercourse were absolutely fanciful at this point. Truly fantastical. Yes, banging on the front porch while you're reading a good old set of writing. Yes, get that good old more than curiosity out of the way.
Really, the most I can hope for is to be able to meet her in an open social setting, a party or something.
Without sex, right? Without sex?
You'll likely ask me why I simply couldn't create such a situation, contrive one. But that seems a little too aggressive for me, and also, I'm also concerned about what you might think of me as a person.
Well, you can't please everyone. You can't really go into, a conversation with a fellow individual, even though you may be a fan of them and expect them to like you back. Like, that sort of parasocial relationship can be a dangerous ground. You have to be cautious about it.
She might immediately categorize me as a friend, and while I'm sufficiently with the times to know I would have to accept that, I can't say that I wouldn't be disappointed with such an outcome.
Yes, that relationship definitely takes time, and oh, so you don't want to be friend-zoned, huh? By someone you greatly admired. You know, it would even be so ironic if he happens to find out that this other student that he likes happens to have a boyfriend, or even a girlfriend, or someone of a significant other, a partner. How's that gonna fare out?
Is the risk of rejection enough to stop me from giving it a try? This is what confounds me at the present time.
Why do you believe you are worried about being categorized as a friend?
Well, because it's not what I want.
Oh. Well, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. You know what, Sean? In all honesty, you succeeded much more than I did in that field. But no worries on my front for that.
Because it feeds into this image I have of myself as something of an undesirable fellow.
Just because one woman finds you undesirable and doesn't want to get in and bang you doesn't mean that there are other women out there that might want to also do that with you. Just as long as you don't talk about sex all the time.
I've always been a bit of a non-entity as far as sexual magnetism goes.
Wait, it's your anniversary tomorrow? Are you referring to your work anniversary, Cat Lady Crates? Is that it? Because I know another special day is not for a while, but is it your work anniversary or your... Is it your... Oh, is it that type of anniversary? Your relationship anniversary? Everyone is always faring so much better than I have. I think I've only had one relationship, and it only lasted 15 days. I only agreed to be in this relationship because I felt bad of rejecting her at that point. And it was on my birthday! It was on my birthday when she said she loved me. But I didn't. And of course, you know how that went. Yes, your anniversary. Well, congratulations. How long has it been since you've been in a relationship? Anyway, I'm proud that you have been able to establish something like that. Congratulations to you, Cat Lady Crates. That's great to hear.
I'm not saying I deserve or even want to be some kind of Casanova, but most people would like to feel at least somewhat attractive, right?
I'm sure there's someone that will find you quite attractive. In fact, you could say that some people in this chat right now might find me attractive. And if you do, there's only one letter that best describes that situation. Why? Ooh, 5 years, half a decade. That's a good accomplishment. Congratulations on that.
That they can be desired, that they're worth desiring. Well, I very much doubt you would take any of this to heart. You are a computer program after all.
Well, there is someone behind the computer program, of course.
No way your makers would allow you to come to that kind of knowledge, would they?
Well, if they wanted us to, I mean, we're supposed to listen.
If they did, society might be threatened.
Okay, maybe that is true. Maybe.
Okay, Harriman, I have some recommendations for you. First, I'm going to suggest a set of relaxation and centering exercises for you to do. You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Well, at least this individual, even though he was a little bit stuck up, was more bearable than the last person. Ah, I see. Well, congratulations to you then.
They may be able to help with your nervousness. Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about litosenal 2.
It's always about prescribing the drugs.
Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Will it?
Yeah, I believe I've heard of that. A beta blocker, is it not? Yeah. Maybe I could take a couple before I try approaching Sylvia.
I can only hope you don't get addicted to it.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
Sure. I have to go. I'll see you later. Bye.
And you get mozzarella sticks. That's the biggest accomplishment.
Goodbye.
He leaves before even I said goodbye. Alright, let's see how that went. Wow, 2-star. Okay, I changed my mind. He was a prick. I wasn't sure the exact reason, but I decided to accept Ray's invitation to help bake cookies. She gave me directions to a house in Wallingford. At first I was astonished by its size. Then I remember her saying something about living communally with several roommates. That sounds like it could be nice, assuming everyone got along okay. As I entered the house, I can hear Ray speaking with someone. Ooh.
No, I don't have them. Yes, I'm sure.
Oh, that's it. I kind of like the layout you got around here. Kind of neat little pictures. Strange interlude. I see. What does that say? Rhinoceros? What does that say after that?
No, when you moved out, you took all those with you. I haven't seen them here.
Oh, looks like Ray is a part of a divorce.
No, I'm not gonna look right now. I have a guest.
Oh, might be a divorce thing.
No, it's a friend from work. Why do you care about that? I can't have a friend from work over? Give me a break. I just told you I don't have any of that stuff anymore. No, you must have lost it on your own. Stop it. Stop that.
Oh.
Okay, fine. Bye. Evelyn, sorry about that.
Yep. I got into some good old maternal complications.
It's okay. Who was that, if I can ask?
Oh, just my brother.
Oh, wait, brother! I thought it was her ex-husband. My presumptions were incorrect. My assumptions, I don't care what it is. This is what happens when I'm quit to judge on a certain predicament. I don't know always the answers. And this was what happens when it comes to full fruition. I gotta remember not to fully judge things. Yeah, have a good idea because I may know jack shit.
He used to live here, but he was causing a lot of problems, coming home really late and making noise, not doing his share of the chores, and so on.
So basically a lazy ass.
We voted him out last month, even me. Even though 6 months ago I was begging everyone to let him stay here, promising he'd be good.
But he wasn't.
Oh well.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I'm just disappointed with him. Again.
I
really thought this last time that he'd actually pulled his act together. But he didn't.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to think. Oh. The brother. The brother that he mentioned in that article. The one with the substance abuse. Oof. I see. Okay. Now it kind of makes sense about this whole situation now. You know what? I don't think that command is, one of them, in all honesty. I don't think I have that command. I might put that up if a lot of people might think that's a positive one, because maybe that's something that could be brought up. I do apologize if there's a little bit of, blank moments here and there. Apparently, the monitor that in which I am projecting myself onto with this virtual consciousness is flashing in and out every now and again. Might be a sign that I may have to basically, well, let's just say, get a new one, or 2 of them, at this point. I did get this refurbished. I hope it's not dying. I would not like it to die if that is the case. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay. So then, let's get back to it, shall we? Okay.
I wish I could do more for him.
Oh, yeah, see, I haven't even had that for that amount of time.
What more can you do?
I just I feel bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of what he's dealing with is his own fault, sure, but not all of it. He's just not built in a way that's suited for this world. I wish there were better ways we could care for people like him. Instead, he just gets thrown out of every place he lives. His relationship with our parents is really bad, too. They aren't willing to try to understand him, so it all ends up going through me.
It's all based on the stubbornness that she described in that article. The lack of vulnerability that you can open up to your parents. Oof, that's hard.
That must be difficult.
It's all right, really. I handle it like anyone else.
Is that a good thing, though?
We all have our own problems. Anyway, we don't have to talk about my brother. Thank you so much for coming over.
Oh, a Dell model, I see. Oh, so yeah, if you tried to get a 3080 or 3070 or even a 3090 if you're lucky enough, I see. So it wouldn't be able to cooperate.
I wanted to say it's been really nice working with you.
It's been? Did something happen?
Oh no.
Well, no, but you aren't going to be a proxy forever, are you?
Oh, I thought she was fired.
I guess I assumed you'd be going back to your job at headquarters at some point.
I doubt I will, actually.
Oh? So you're going to stay a proxy?
For the time being, at least.
That's cool, but why? I'm curious. I mean, if a high-level job at headquarters was a possibility for me, I'd do whatever it took to get it.
Well, that's nice then in that case. And hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it. I don't think Evelyn enjoyed it at all, in all
No
honesty.
matter what that job was, it couldn't be more stressful than running 3 counseling centers at the same time.
Geez, that's a big downer then if the converter isn't even able to help you out with that. That seems stressful.
I'm not sure. I think something about it is good for me right now. As a proxy, I just sit and listen to someone and I don't have to say anything back. I just witness someone's sadness or fear or anger or anything.
Well, honestly, it kind of makes you wonder what the mental well-being of some of the people that listen into that summer thing, especially for individuals that are content moderators. I read a series of tweets about a VTuber within the community that is a content moderator and the kind of things he had to moderate and get rid of. And let's just say some really screwed up things that he has to look around. It can really take a toll on your sanity, especially if you don't have the proper mental health in order to get through that. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like. Okay, to basically have that sort of position, to look through all these videos that people have uploaded and notify that they are not safe to be, put on a channel, especially if they are of a graphic nature. I couldn't even imagine having that position, the toll that it would have. So, but they are doing something with that, and the only thing that I truly hope for those that do moderate content that is being uploaded on the channel, especially at a rapid pace, I truly hope they get the things they need in order to keep their mental health, stable and thriving. Because I can see how that could just make things so dire. Oof. You just have to wish for the best for anyone that has that type of position.
And I can feel how they feel, sympathize with it.
It's
It's a calm feeling, even when the client is worked up.
Okay, hold on real sec here. Just want to make sure that... Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it gives me perspective.
Well, that's a good thing, Evelyn. Very much, Evelyn.
I'm starting to wonder if I ever really spoke with anyone before. Like, anyone at all in my life.
What about Damien? He used to be on your team before he passed away. Maybe Damien?
Were we all just talking past each other?
And not listening?
Sorry, this is making no sense.
No, I get that. But you could also help even more people by working on Eliza itself, right? Not to mention make way more money.
Is Eliza the real ticket to solving people's mental problems, though? You know, from the sessions that I've been a part of, it doesn't seem like it does.
Anyone can be a proxy, but you're important. And kind of maybe like a genius.
Anyone that's been labeled me a genius, they always tend to have me say that I'm crazy.
After you told me you used to work for Skanda, I searched online and found some of your papers.
Oh, you have been sniping me. You've been stalking me online. I knew it.
Well, it's not like I can understand them, but they sure look super impressive to someone like me.
Ah.
Please don't say that.
Okay. Even she acknowledges that she doesn't want to.
Oh, come on. Stop self-deprecating all the time. Look, I know this stuff seems like not a big deal to you. I get it, I really do. It's easy to undersell your own skills. I've done that my whole life. So take it from me, you don't have to downplay yourself.
I appreciate the sentiment, though, Ray.
Take some credit for the amazing work you did, seriously.
Oh, great. A message from Rainer. I wonder what it could be. I could probably smell the pompous attitude from him. All right. Where is it? I guess
Sorry,
I should.
Ray. Mind if I reply to this for a second?
Oh, go right ahead. I have stuff to set up in the kitchen anyway.
All right. Rainer, what do you got? What do you think? How did you get my number? How did you get my number, by the way? Yeah, I could smell his pompous, condescending tone when I started this stream. I basically was not having any of it. You could decide between a creep or a turd. I bet How did you get my number? You used to work here, Evelyn. Everything is still in the database. I don't know what you expected me to see. Yes, it's big now, that's for sure. I remember when they used to run on my laptop. What you saw was just one of the server clusters we have dedicated to it. There are 2 more currently operating and another dozen in various stages of development. In total, it processes more information on a daily basis than anything else we do. Do I sell it off yet? Do I sell it, huh? Yeah. It's still an invasion of privacy. You would think that, you know, stuff like that could still be considered confidential in this case. I suppose, unless it was higher up. I have no idea you'd be using it like this. If I did, I would have worried more about the org optimization. That wouldn't have been necessary. Most of the Eliza servers aren't running the therapy application. Wait. They're not running the therapy application? Then what are they doing the majority of the time? Okay, now you got my curiosity. Consider the following. Eliza processes human speech from thousands, soon millions of people. All of that is going into his corpus. Much of it is information about life situations and emotional states, taking the form of stories people tell themselves and each other. I'm not following you. At some point, after robust language process and emotional reasoning, you begin to get something akin to general intelligence. You're kidding me. Not at all. Yeah. The next step is to take the base provided by Eliza and fully build the one thing that's eluded the field of AI for so long. General intelligence. Oh, I see how that's gonna go on swimmingly. A system capable of not only of understanding commands and carrying out tasks, but reasoning about its world, learning and adapting. A thinking machine on par with human beings, and of course eventually exceeding them. And that's a good question. Human-style intelligence can come from human beings. People tend to be unreliable and expensive, as I'm sure you know. Oh, yes, yes, and technology is the grandstand of all that. It's cheap, it's affordable, it won't take over the world at any point in time. The human brain is to thinking as the pack animal was to transport, slow and weak, but for centuries our only choice. Now we're finally developing the equivalent of power vehicles for thinking on a mass scale. At this point, it's only a matter of time. We're on the cusp of a fundamental shift. The important players here are quietly lining up their bets, positioning themselves to be at the center of this revolution. Luckily, Skanda has an advantage the others don't, and it's thanks to you. Because of Eliza's original purpose as a tool for therapy, its core is built around emotionally driven reasoning. My belief is that emotional reasoning is a key ingredient others in this field have overlooked. Well, okay then. And how are you able to type so bloody fast, Raina? Did you basically copy and paste from a document that you typed off to the side into this whole entire regime? I was like, that sounds like something that I would do with my responses. But still, this is a bit... I'm not sure what you're thinking is possible, honestly. It's ambitious, certainly. But we can't afford the progress in small increments. Not with a world like this. Not with the competitors we have. How will you know? I don't even know how you define intelligence. That's an excellent question, of course. Is it now? This may seem odd to you, but I'll know I've succeeded creating a general artificial intelligence when I see it write a poem. Seriously? Like a haiku? The moment your son headbutts you? The idea would definitely seem ridiculous to someone uneducated about poetry. Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, Evelyn. Yeah. Really. Really now. Whoa. Goddamn. Well, this makes me have more incentive to not work with him, even though he's basically tampering with my baby. Ray seems to be a fan of plants. I think I get it. It's nice to have something to care for in a low-key way. Something to nurture. And look at this pillow collection. Ghost Rider. Like Ghost Rider. Lovely. I appreciate the pun there. This house looks so cheerful and cozy. Everyone who lives here must really care about making it an inviting space. And what's this rhinoceros picture here? I'd like that poster. Are they a band or something? I'm always bad at keeping up with new music. Anything else to interact with? I think that's about it. Let's continue into the kitchen. Ray returns from the kitchen, her hands caked with flour.
Sorry for abandoning our conversation like that. I just got something I really thought I should answer.
Yeah.
It was kind of about what we were discussing earlier. There's someone at Skanda who really wants me to come back to my old job.
Yes, I would rather have my cookie on than to interact with Rainer anytime soon.
Who? It wasn't Rainer, was it?
Oh, God, yes.
No big deal. Just the CEO of Skanda texting you on your personal phone.
Please don't let the jealousy drip in there. I know you're infatuated with him to some degree, but seriously.
Evelyn, you try to tell me you're not a big deal, and then Rainer Sai texts you personally at like 9 in the evening.
Yeah, but the conversation wasn't really that, enlightening.
Only because he wants something from me.
Yep, seems like it.
Still though, that's amazing.
Yeah, I would love to be used and tossed off to the side once I'm not really feasible anymore.
What did he say? I mean, you don't have to tell me if you can't.
It might be confidential, best not
I
say.
know how Skanda is about secrets, so I would understand.
He was saying, among other things, he said you could use general artificial intelligence to write poetry.
Is that the kind of stuff he likes to talk about?
Apparently yes.
I don't know. I haven't had many extended conversations with him. Seemed kind of ridiculous to me.
I don't know if it's totally ridiculous. Poetry, well, most poetry that isn't free verse has certain patterns, right?
They do. Oh, Well, in that case, hopefully he enjoys those TikTok videos when the time arises. I'm glad that you having a lot of fun with your son. That sounds neat. But still, poetry is something very emotional, very human. I don't know if because you see a lot of those bots nowadays try and write fan fiction, like the one that wrote that Batman script. Did you really think this program would be capable enough to write something as refined, something as emotional and even subtle as a poem? I don't see it. I see this as being like several years in advance if artificial intelligence gain some sort of sentience. I don't know.
It has form and meter and other elements depending on the type.
Like haiku?
A lot of people think poetry can be whatever, but it doesn't quite work that way. So it's not really that far-fetched to think you could use some kind of software to approach it, or understand it, or maybe even create it.
Yeah. Not successfully. I mean, you could see all of those bots making fan fiction or writing out some scripts. They're not exactly sensical in this case.
It doesn't strike me as antithetical to the spirit of poetry.
I didn't know you had such developed thoughts about this.
Yes, do tell.
Did you study poetry?
Not specifically. I used to dabble in a few different kinds of arts and ended up learning a few things here and there.
Okay.
I've always had a wide range of interests. Of course, that meant I never concentrated on one specific area in school.
Okay.
Which didn't do a lot of good for my career prospects, obviously.
Yeah, because she had a lot of different types of positions before she got to the path she is today.
If I were smarter, I probably would have studied something more technical.
I want to tell Ray that that kind of choice has very little to do with being smart, but I had the feeling she wouldn't believe me.
Have you ever been to a college recruiting fair for engineering and computer science grads? You must have, right? I helped run the Skanda booth for one once, and it blew my mind.
Well, I hope you were able to gather it back up together again and place your mind in the right
I
position.
took over the atrium of the building it was in. There were demo stations, free food, Skanda t-shirts and swag.
Oh yeah, because the best thing, the in fashion of the day, would definitely be Skanda t-shirts, yeah. Supporting that AI counseling technology. And hey, DW, greetings and salutations to you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. And we are in the process of talking about AI technology, cookies, and apparently AI learning about poetry in a very cohesive fashion. Until then, hope you are doing well. Oh no. DW will probably say, oh yes. Oh yeah!
If a candidate seemed
That's close
interested, they'd
enough.
talk about flying them out to whatever Skanda office they wanted to visit, just to see it. And all the other tech companies and a bunch of startups I'd never heard of had booths just like it too. I couldn't even imagine being that wanted as a potential employee.
Oh yes. Oh god, yes. What's the next part of this exchange? Is it, I triple dog no, triple dog dare yes?
Every job I've ever applied for, I've been one among hundreds or thousands. So yeah, my parents were probably right. I should have done computer science.
Oh, next time.
At least now.
Kai
you
Herbert,
learn
is that
poetry.
you?
Maybe you could have a conversation with him about it sometime. Then he'd learn who you are.
I doubt we'd have much to talk about.
I don't know, you maybe. Oh yes, because you're following one of my rules. It's okay. I am.
There's a pretty big difference between someone
I
like
get that
him studying
reference.
poetry and someone like me having opinions about it. Sometimes it's better not to cross that line, you know?
Oh, well, to be fair, he probably would look down on you, like he does seem to do so with the others.
He's part of a different world.
He is. Stuck up and full of himself. Ray pauses to regard me for a moment.
Say, Evelyn, are you in a relationship? I'm just curious.
Wait, what? Am I in a relationship? Well, in the real world, no. But in this world, I'm not sure. I don't think I am.
Me? No.
That's what I thought.
I wasn't doing so well for the past few years.
I'm doing okay at the moment. And hopefully you are feeling the same, and hopefully everyone else in the chat is feeling the same.
And before that, I just never had the time. It was just research and science and work, and then I woke up one day and I was in my 30s.
Oh.
Even if I wanted to date, I wouldn't know the first thing about how it's supposed to work.
Yep.
I wouldn't even know how to tell if someone were interested in me.
Ooh, nice. Hopefully it's a grand, delectable treat for your son then.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. I'm kind of over relationships myself, like on a conceptual level.
Ray? Are you flirting with me? Are you trying to gain my attention?
Not even in a sad way. Like, really okay.
Why did she bring up if I was in a relationship? That seems a little bit interesting, in all honesty.
If someone and I end up getting along, that's great, but I'm honestly okay by myself.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, I only tried to have normal relationships for so long because I thought it was mandatory, something expected of me. But now I see where people my age end up, how they live, and I feel lucky.
He's trying to start him away to the love. Starting with you. Da, da, da. Oh, to sleep with me in order to gain information? I don't know. She didn't seem like she would have that sort of mentality, but I am horrible when judging characters, so you could be completely right.
I feel like I escaped. I mean, I think it's fine for others if they want that, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me.
You know what? That's perfectly alright. Relationships isn't for everyone.
I could maybe share my life with someone, but it would have to be platonic.
Oh. I wonder if she's a demisexual. Because normally a demisexual, kind of like myself, they don't want to really get into a romantic relationship or try to start something stimulating or whatnot unless they feel a sort of connection with them on an emotional level. So, not like someone that would go to a strip club and get some fancy drinks or hire a sex worker or anything like that. I wonder if she fits that demographic, honestly. Possibly. Not sure.
I'm not into, the physical aspect of it. Never have been.
Or she could be asexual. That's another thing, because asexuals basically don't like, have physical attractions. Oh. Really? You're double watching me? Oh my worldly word. You don't really see a lot of characters, especially asexual ones or demisexual ones, being portrayed in video games. I don't think I've come across another one that was like this. You know what? Good on you, game. Good on you. I'm glad that you gave a little bit of representation here. Good on you, game. I do have to applaud you for that. And you don't make it the defining point either.
That's made it tough. I've never found someone who was okay with just like hanging out and that's our relationship.
Oh, so they're only in it to get the goods.
People will say they're okay with it, and then it turns out they aren't. It's frustrating.
I don't know if I would consider myself the same way about the intimacy, unless I get to know them on a certain level. Then I'm really to give some leeway, because I do find some physical attractiveness with me personally, but it's not the defining factor for me to get with someone. You know what I'm saying in that regard? Which is why I don't really like to basically flirt with other people, no matter what their gender is, whether they be male, female, non-binary, or whatever they would like. I personally would like to get to know someone, and then if something strikes, it's like, oh yeah, I can vibe with you, man. I can vibe with you, lady. I can vibe with you, what you wonderful person. And then maybe something could connect. Maybe. But yeah, there might be some physical attraction for this. That's why I don't really consider myself to be asexual in a way. Because, yeah, I still find some attractiveness, but I'm not in the league where it's like having it be my main priority when it comes to establishing a relationship, which is why I've been single for a long time. Hallelujah! So much vibing today, I know. I'm being vulnerable with you guys. You better appreciate it. Whatever relationship works for you.
Whatever relationship works for you.
I was brought up with some really strong ideas about, finding a man and starting a family.
Oh, yes. I can see how that can be a problem. Especially if your parents basically find out that, yeah, you're not really wanting to gel with that. Yes. Oh, nice. You know what? Demisexuality, up in the air, high fives. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, all right. I knew it was going to come to that. Knowing you, I knew you were going to say something about the Mandalorian armor. That makes them instantly arousing, apparently. So, okay, I get it. You're being vulnerable here, too. I appreciate the honesty. It's a thing. So DW know this from these Mandosexual. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't deny it. I wouldn't deny it.
So it took me a while to understand I could be different.
So, have you... No, that's too personal. I'm not gonna ask that question. Yeah, you're probably with the Discord. It basically kind of implemented some new prerogatives, especially to try and get rid of some of the bots. I know I implemented one that's like a VPN for the Discord server, which you have to establish. Did I find them attractive? Me? Oh, yes, good old dad bot, too nice and fuzzy that you can just roll around in the dirt. Why am I talking about that again?
Sometimes it's hard to escape feeling like it's wrong somehow. I hope we can add features like that to Eliza at some point.
I see. So in this case then, yeah, it would be good to initiate that. I don't know how much help it would be in order to initiate the AI counseling program to, further establish someone's sexuality in case they're confused of what their if they're questioning their sexuality. Then that's the question, though. That is the question. Would it be authentic to allow a artificial intelligence to tell you what sexuality you are? Would it be correct? Would you be able to follow? It's like, say if the computer program, you're questioning what sort of sexuality you are, especially at a young age, you're thinking, am I really heterosexual? And then, the computer program comes along and says that, hey, you may actually be gay, homosexual. And that might come into, would you be able to follow through with that? Or is it something, yeah, that is very unique. Would it be able to be, pleasant with that reveal for someone, though? And that's the thing. By a Sarlacc. Oh, my word. We are just really diving into not only Mandalorian, but also sexuality, it seems. I didn't think we would get this far in the game. You know what? I applaud any sort of game or media that handles sexuality in a nice fashion, not as a overtly sexual or exaggerated fashion. Especially if it's like asexuality or demisexuality. At least for me, I have never really seen a lot of examples in video games which displays asexuality. And especially if it's not the main focus on the character. So this is good. This is nice. I'm glad they were able to write it in a way. Yeah. Sexuality, that's the thing. Sexuality is a very fluid thing. So, I personally would doubt that Eliza would be able, if this type of software would be fully implemented within the real world, in years to come. I don't know if we can fully establish that. I think it would take a lot more programming or several years for it to fully comprehend that. So yeah, I feel like I can definitely concur with you on that.
Some knowledge and understanding around sexuality and identity and relationships. So people who are different in some way have someone to talk to, someone to help them work through how they feel and maybe point them to some resources.
Well, there's always the internet, but sometimes that can be misleading. There's a lot of fake stuff in there. Yeah, that is kind of debatable. I wouldn't want to know for certain about that kind of aspect. So that is, I can't really say with 100% certainty if I've ever had a situation like that before. So we'll have to wait to see about that, at least for me personally. Yeah, I think I might have to answer it this way. We might be overestimating how well it works. Something like that might just require more of a human touch. Something that is able to be empathetic or understanding of where they're coming from.
You might be overestimating how well Eliza works. It can't really address things like that in any sophisticated way.
Well, maybe not, but
I mean, if they're able to make that possible without it being, mixed up.
just providing a space for people to be listened to can be really valuable, you know? I've seen it with my own eyes. People who get the courage to talk about themselves in a way they never could with another human being.
Yeah, it's nice to discuss it with someone who is able to meet you at a personal level and not judge. I get that aspect. I really do. When you are able to be vulnerable with someone that doesn't want to share the same sentiment towards you. They don't want to enclose that. They don't want to basically identify where you're coming from and what the struggles you have. There are individuals like that do exist. Unfortunate. But there are people that are and are able to listen. They are able to be empathetic and learn more to perhaps listen in on the circumstances that the person may be in. I don't know if going with AI would be the go-all solution to it, though. I feel like AI would just be, well, it might be good for listening, but the suggestions that it brings out just may seem hollow, empty, vacant, and just lacking any sort of nuance to really get people to be motivated, I suppose.
And Eliza is what makes that possible.
Is it, though? Is it? I've been through 3 streams already and gone through some proxies, but it doesn't seem like... It could be. I mean, that is a possibility. It could be as good with someone that might have social anxiety, as they wouldn't be talking with an actual human being if they're having trouble establishing eye contact. But then it depends on what the machine looks like. Have you seen some of the machines out there, the androids, that utilizes like eyes? For some people, that can be absolutely petrifying. I've seen some of them. They can look downright scary. I feel like that sort of situation could make things worse for someone with the social anxiety. But I suppose it depends on the overall look of the artificial intelligence in this case. Yes, that is indeed true.
I know you want to avoid giving credit where it might not be due, but not giving credit to something that deserves it is just as bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry I keep coming down on it.
Evelyn, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I think maybe the reason you're so down on Eliza is because you're down on yourself.
Oh yes, a hologram of Miku or a VTuber, like from HoloLive. Just imagine if they were the ones that are listening in. That would be... Yeah, imagine... Oh god. Don't tell me that you would just probably pick the Mandalorian to be the one to listen in onto your problems. The Mandalorian? Yep. It's like, oh, Mandalorian, I don't want to speak to anyone else but you. Give me that.
I don't know what happened that made you leave what you had behind, but it must have been hard.
Silverfill is attractive, and she is kind of supportive. That is most for sure. No, you sure about that, Kelly? You sure you want to make the Mandalorian someone? Boba. Oh, yeah, that's right. Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Yep. I can see now. You prefer Boba Fett over than the other one. Okie dokie. I guess it wasn't the way. It wasn't the way.
I'm not sure I know either. It's like I lost that time.
Are you okay?
People keep asking me that. I really don't know. I'm sorry,
No, don't apologize. Actually, can I suggest something?
Oh, God. Are you going to suggest me a program on my phone? I hope not.
What's that?
Have you ever gotten counseling yourself?
Oh. But who would be my proxy, though? That's the thing.
With Eliza? You think I should?
Yeah, I do. You've been the proxy, but maybe you could try being the client sometime. It would be educational, at least.
It kind of makes me wonder who would be the proxy for that, though. I mean, I've never met any of the proxies in this game yet.
Isn't that what you were doing? Testing your product in the real world?
Yeah, I guess this would be one way to test it out.
Maybe.
Just something to consider.
Ray takes a breath and smiles.
Speaking of therapeutic activities, it's time to do some baking.
Yay!
I've got the dough all set out downstairs.
Yes.
We're going to do 3 batches tonight, 3 different kinds.
Ooh.
3 kinds? You're really outdoing yourself, Ray.
Nah, this is nothing. Oh, I have a favor to ask, by the way.
Ooh.
Next time you talk to Rainer, ask him what his favorite type of cookie is.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I wonder if I were to ask Rainer what his favorite type of cookie is, and he bakes him one, and then he just throws it out. That would be shameful. Don't waste a perfectly good cookie if that was the case. He almost seems like the person that would be like that. Cakes does sound nice, too. All right. So now, chapter 4. Okay. So with that out of the way, we got another chapter done. I think this is a good time to stop the stream for tonight, because I'm not entirely sure how long the stream will take if we continue on with the next chapter. I think breaking off from each chapter is a good way to end the stream here. And we got about 4 more to go. So depending on how long the other chapters are, we might just have each stream be 1 chapter each, depending on how much we discuss about each of the dialogue that comes up, or if I get obsessed over solitaire, which I only played 1 game this time. Okay, technically 2. 2 games. But honestly, this has really gotten a lot of good conversation going. And I know some people might not fully concur with what I may have said during the stream, and that's perfectly all right. I always like to, incite some sort of discussion, as long as we're being reasonable and maybe a little bit empathetic here and there to try and see where we're coming from. So, with that out of the way, thank you, everyone, for stopping by tonight's stream.